So D was the name of gentleman y'all were talking to.
Yes.
I will say, I'm going to go ahead and grab this here and view. All right, so essentially, if you guys are looking at Roll20 right now, you'll see a map that says Forgotten Storage.
Yes.
This is actually a map you'll be getting in game, so give me just a moment. So, almost dropped some. Essentially, what y'all are doing right now is you showed back up to D's location in order for him to go ahead and start working on the clothing. Now, he did tell you that it would take some time for him to finish it, a few hours, as he will have to tailor it to Gragnar's size. And he offered for Gragnar to come in the back so he could get measurements, as well as for any of the young ladies who also need gowns or anything done.
Yes.
Y'all had basically stated that while I looked over and I saw Lustria, I'm like, that's not right. Seraphina.
Either or.
Why am I slowed? There we go. So, let's see. There we go. So, yeah, it was Daniel D. clothing shop owner. Then Baskins W. Wilson was the old man.
Yes. And then John Williamson was the guard we talked to, I think.
Yes, John Williamson. Yes, it was John Williamson was head of security, and he was also the nephew, rather the great nephew of Baskins.
Yes.
Now, when you guys went ahead and talked with him, he did go ahead and give you a bit of information on, just the nobles area and things like that. He basically stated, that these are housing. Most of these are seasonal housing for a lot of these nobles and things like that. Most of it is seasonal housing that for people traveling back and forth. They own the homes or they want to go ahead and rent them, almost like summer homes on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are locations that that a lot of the nobles in the richer area own purely because they'll pass through on a regular basis. Not a lot of people live in these areas per se, but they live there. And when you left, you went back to Daniel's shop, Daniel D or D's shop, and he went ahead and offered you all to go in the back. You saw that he had a artificial arm that was that was made in the same way that the construct puppets were made.
Mm-hmm.
You also discovered that the construct puppets are a combination of rune magic and clockwork, essentially allowing for them to function as both mannequins and also as parts of like the help around the shop. They clean, they do things. Now, when you went to the back area with him, and he was actually getting Gragnar's measurements. So, Gragnar, you're currently in the back. He's got you standing T-posed, arms out, as he has both his black gloves kind of working up down the sides of your body and everything. And he's just kind of getting your measurements. What are you doing as he does this? Can you describe to me what you're doing?
He's just gonna stand there. He's like awkwardly like wobbling back and forth.
Kind of turning.
Could you rotate for me? Just turn around.
Yeah.
Assert your dominance.
Assert your dominance in your clothes that barely are staying on your body anymore.
And as I said, I will be using a lining for this clothing that is fire retardant. It's not fully fire resistant, but it's fire retardant. It's actually cheaper.
I guarantee you, I will be back here within 3 days because it's burned up. I'm not even kidding you.
And I guarantee you, I'd be more than happy for you to pay for another pair of clothes in 3 days. And he just sits there, and he's got a big smile on his face because that sounds like a return customer.
Gross. I don't like paying for things.
And so what he does is he goes ahead and gets this all put together. And I know that I explained that it was this green suit,
It's
but have
fucking
you
bright
any of you ever
green.
seen Django and
Yeah.
yeah, it's that
Django and
suit
what?
Django Unchained.
No.
I saw
So let me go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm gonna bring up Django's.
You watched it with
no.
me.
that. Oh no. Mm.
Okay, yeah.
No!
Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay, I'm
Only it's in a forest green.
Oh god!
I love it.
Does he have the frills and everything? In
Oh
the
yeah,
front?
it's frills and everything.
Oh
But
yeah.
imagine there's white frills coming out of the arms as well and the feet. It's like
Oh yeah,
and
I
it's
love
got
it.
that big white frilly bow in the front.
Yeah,
I've seen this
is
movie
definitely-
once, so I couldn't remember what you were talking about. But now it's all coming back to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
this is
so-
definitely getting destroyed.
Hey
Whether
man,
it's on
you
purpose or not.
he can keep making it, and y'all can keep paying for it or doing favors. Either way, he's making money.
I will wear a
Right.
potato sack.
Anyway, he's getting you measured for it, and as he does, he gets the measurements. It takes all about 5-10 minutes. He actually goes and even measures your tail, like the space of your tail, so that he can make sure that there's a decently comfortable position for you. And he does look, he says, now, the button will actually be on the back end, which will allow for you to go ahead and button up around your tail, just so it's more comfortable for you. Is there any request you have for this? More frills, less frills?
Make him have wings.
Oh my
More
god.
frills.
More frills.
Little plush wings.
It's already flammable. It's gonna be even more flammable if we add more frills on it.
Make him look like a fancy dragon.
Oh my
Put sequins on the fucking wings.
Oh,
I won't be doing wings. That's a bit extra for a gala event that you said you were
Yeah,
doing.
and this
that's
thing
extra.
already isn't extra. Okay.
Isn't that technically what being a noble's about? Just being extra.
You didn't hear that from me. And D just kind of turns his head to the side, like, again stands up. He's like, "Their extra pays my bills, so I can't really say much about that."
Coming from the guy with the magical mannequins.
That's not extra. That's called tinkering. That's called having fun, a hobby. Okay.
Fair.
You could say that life is a hobby. And he just kind of like he looks at the mannequin who you didn't realize has walked in the room behind you, and
Oh,
is
Jesus!
and he's standing there holding a book behind him, and he turns to Snack. The face of the mannequin, it's the same one you guys have dealt with before. Turns to Snack, raises a hand, and kind of jerkingly waves. Just
Yeah,
uh.
hi.
And with that, he holds out the book to D. D takes it, he opens it real quick, and you'll notice, just average notice, that the book's pages are black, actually. They aren't white, they're completely black. And he pulls out a quill that seems to be, like, stashed in the side of the book. You know, kind of like how some binders will have it. And he writes down in red ink the sizes. Real quick. And puts the quill back, closes it, sticks it under his arm, and he snaps 3 times. And the mannequin stands up straight, bows, and leaves the room. Now, he goes ahead and goes to leave the room, and he waits for you to follow him.
I will follow.
Like all of us, or just Greg?
Yeah.
All of you. He's going back to the front.
Okay.
He's going back to the front of the building.
And Snack will like hold out her arm and be like, "After you, Serafina."
All right. She walks forward.
am trying to walk as far away from the mannequin as possible. And I go ahead
and as you all begin to do that, go ahead and all
Woo!
or technically. Okay, so as you all go ahead and walk that area, he's going to go ahead and go back to the front. And if you remember, the front area is a fairly large area where like there's mannequins and clothing up on the walls. It's showing off all of his things, and he has big, wide glass doors. When you start heading to the front, there seems to be someone waiting there. They seem to be dressed head to toe in black with their face covered, excluding their eyes. Now,
Where is this? Sorry.
this is at the front of the shop.
Okay.
Okay.
Dee stands and goes, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't know you were here. Can I help you?" And a very soft, smooth female voice comes out. "I'm actually here for them." And she turns and bows to you all. From the
Seraphina's gonna look very suspicious of her.
I'm gonna like hold up my hands, be like, "Whoa, hey, none of that. I don't want to be bowed to. Thank you."
It's merely a sign of respect. Vaughn sent
Oh.
me.
Oh, Vaughn. Okay.
Seraphina's like, "Oh."
As long as Vaughn's fine. I thought you were somebody else, but that's
Are you making a statement or?
no.
And when you say the way you say "Oh, Vaughn," they kind of look at you and they tilt their head, and you can see the eyebrow raise. And as you see the eyebrow raise, you see that the part of their face that is being shown, their skin seems to be a dark purple, and they have piercing violet eyes.
Woof. I'm sorry.
And their skin almost is, it seems to be a dark gray, but it has like a slight purple hue underneath, as if the blood pumping through causes kind of a rosy purple shade. They asked Dee, "Is there a room in the back that we could borrow?" And proceeds to pull out a small bag of gold that she sets down in a silk lined bag. Dee looks at that bag, opens it, and his eyes go wide for a second. He goes, yes, there's several rooms in the back you can have. You can have all the rooms in the back." And he takes it and he quickly like puts it in his side pocket. And she goes, "Thank you." So you follow Dee back into the back area, and he actually goes past where he was doing the measurements. There's the space he was doing your measurements in was essentially a small nook where there were mirrors around, so that you could essentially see yourself as you're being measured. And what he does,
behind the mirrors.
he folds the mirrors in and closes them, and then on one side is a handle. So it's almost like he closes them, and these mirrors are on the back of a door. It turns out he opens the door, and there's a back room.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
As he waves his arm back there, "This is my main office. Please feel free to use it." And she smiles, and you all follow them back into that room. Now,
All right.
as you do, she turns around and pulls out some matches and begins lighting the work candles that are in the room, as there's no other lighting in this space.
Question.
Yes.
Does D come with us?
No. He
Okay,
shuts
cool.
the door. Obviously, she wanted some sort of privacy with you all.
Is there anything else in the room?
Anything else in the room? There is plenty.
Huh?
There are books on the walls. There are plenty of loose papers that seem to have sketches and designs on them of clockwork mechanisms and different clothing design.
I will be right back when I go get more water.
Okay.
Okay.
There are rolls and rolls of fabric that look to be very pricey. As if this is where he protects the more expensive fabrics that he has. On top of that, there's quite a bit. This is very much his office space. The center table is covered in papers and wads of trash that he's thrown around. There's a plate that has like bread and some butter left on it. That's very obviously a snack from when he was working late one night. There's a lot of different things there, and there's a handful of candles in different
Is
locations.
that like a desk?
There is a large table in the center,
Mm.
not a desk. It is a large table that seems to have a bunch of things on it. And there's fabric spread across it. It's very obvious that he like cuts his wares and everything in this back room.
Alright, first order of business, I'm grabbing that bread. It is now my bread.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna shove something in your mouth.
And since he didn't come with us, Ragnar is definitely gonna be nosy and just start digging through stuff.
Okay. I need you to roll an investigation check for
Oh,
me.
cool. I'm terrible at those. Let's go. Yeah, no, I'm terrible at those. That is
I'm gonna keep a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't pocket anything
that
that's
is
not
a
his besides the
whopping
bread.
9.
Okay. So a 9 is enough to notice one thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are several vases in this back area that have flowers in them. But they're all either completely black flowers or dead flowers.
So where are we?
You're in what appears to be Dee's back room.
Okay.
And Gragnar just grabbed a half-eaten sandwich
And just darted.
No, it was just bread. It was just bread and butter.
or half-eaten bread.
Ragnar rolled investigation as he was searching around, and he found that the only thing he's really noticing is one, that this is a bit of a messy space. Everything in this area, there is a large table in the center that has fabric and paper just thrown across it. There's quills that have been like left everywhere. There's a little bit of spilled ink somewhere where he's been working on clockwork designs as well as clothing. But what Ragnar rolled was a 9 on investigation, and what he noticed was that there are lots of flowers pots in this space, like 5 or 6, and the flowers are either completely black, and they're different types. Like there's a lily that's completely black. There's a rose, a bunch of roses that are completely black. But the
Playing
rest
Animal
of them,
Crossing?
the rest of them are all dead flowers.
Which
Those
he will
are rare.
mention as he's digging through all of this dude's. As he'll mention as he's digging through this dude's stuff. Why are all his plants dead? Why are those ones black? As he digs through all of his books.
I don't know. Maybe you'll find a book on it.
Silently judging him.
So
what do you want us here for?
Yeah.
Well, and she just kind of raises an eyebrow at Gragnar. I was hoping to go ahead and give you.
You're
seeing
cutting
as
out.
You're cutting out.
I was hoping to give you some information, seeing as you all were planning on going to the gala,
Oh, that'd be good.
as well as we have blueprints for the young Mrs. Estate.
Woof. Sorry.
And if you're looking, you can actually see the picture. She pulls her hood back and pulls the bottom part of her mask down. And you see that she is a drow young woman. And for a moment, you see a flicker in her eyes as what looked like normal pupils that were violet turn completely purple, with no whites of the eyes and no blacks. So if you go to the page, if you're looking at either what I'm sharing,
I'm
with
looking
you,
at her.
Is Larkin working
I'm
on some
looking.
Switch stuff? You're
Stop
fine.
it.
We're just playing
You
D&D
can't-
anyway.
and again
Can't tell me
she
not to.
and again she bows and she says, "My name is Vieira, and I am partner to Vaughn.
How do you spell her name?
V as in Victor, I as in India, E as in Echo, R as in Romeo, A as in Alpha.
Oh, it's like Vienna, but with R's.
My name is Vieira, and
Why did I type
I'm here to
Vienna?
give you some information." And she pulls a small package out in front of her. And I'm also here to help you prep tonight if you're going to be at the gala. And she pulls out a larger package that she had swung behind her back and begins to open that one, and it has makeups and hair products in it.
Oh, thank God.
And she kind of smiles. Vaughn told me that some of you were planning to go to the gala, and that, for lack of better terms, might need a little bit of cleaning up.
Yes.
No,
You said you just brought out makeup?
Yeah, she brought out what essentially looks like a very detailed makeup kit, along
the
with hair
temptation
products.
to grab like the white puffball powders and just smack it on Gragnar all over to put red lipstick on the tip of his snoot.
No. Already wearing this terrible
Snack
suit.
is like mumbling this under her breath, and all of a sudden, Vieira, actually, for him, all you would need is a type of polish. And she goes ahead and opens a side compartment in this box, and it has a box inside which says scale polish. I was informed that one of your companions was of dragonkin descent.
Hey, Gragnar, you ever had your scales polished?
Nope, I plan to keep it that way. He says,
But you look nice.
him still mumbling around a piece of bread, digging through the bush.
And Vieira smiles for a bit. I thought that Cobalt goals were to become like their leaders, a dragon. A dragon's appearance is one of the most important things to them. Or is your goal to not?
She says, looking at this homeless-looking goat.
I don't even see Gragnar knows.
My
Wait,
clothes
the
are
visual-
burnt. He has crumbs all over his face.
No, the visual of like this dirty goblin-looking kobold, like his feet up on the wall while he's digging inside of a fucking drawer or something.
He has
half
freaking
eaten
bread,
bread in his mouth, and
I
he like
will say-
slowly turns his neck.
I will say that while you're on the wall, slowly turning your neck, as a charisma roll, she rolled no less than a 27.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
Lord.
And she just has her hands at her chest, like she's holding the polish in her hand, slightly below her neck, just kind of looking at him, tilting her head with a faint smile and faint grin on her face. Or do you not wish to be a great dragon who can lead his people?
Yikes.
I don't like her. She's clever.
And with that, a slight like devious grin gets across her face, and she corrects herself quickly.
Well, I'm glad y'all got that settled. I'm gonna wait outside.
Oh no! And she raises a finger. Oh no! I find that the orc ancestry is also very, very keen on cleanliness. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't know. I was raised by humans.
Humans.
Yes. All the more reason for you to
Hey.
go ahead and take the time to go ahead and get in touch with your inner self. And she pulls out at the bottom half, which is nothing but green tinted makeup. Like, it's all custom, by the way. She put this together specifically and pulls out an entire like palette that's specifically for like, it's very obviously for orc complexion. And she pulls out even a gray one as well for any cases that you may have been a gray orc.
I was about to say, like, it's all nice and well. It looks like you don't have my skin tone. Fuck!
Seraphina's gonna kind of take a step forward to Vieira
Mm-hmm.
and like turn to face Gragnar and Snack. So, if you guys are planning to come to the gala with me, this is what we need.
What happened?
If we don't want to raise suspicion, we need
And-
to do this.
You're the ones that fought Vaughn on going and sneaking inside the house, right? You wanted to gather a bit of information, and Vaughn is willing to go ahead and get you into both locations. The least you could do is look good doing it.
Can I at least make a request of not a lot of makeup?
Of course,
And
natural
maybe not
beauty.
have to wear a dress?
Natural beauty is important. And as for the dress, don't worry, you've already been sized. And
Oh, what? They didn't touch me.
D is one of the finest seams.
Seamstress.
He's one of the finest seamstresses in this area. He doesn't actually have to measure you to get your measurement.
Why the
I
fuck did
feel
he measure me
violated.
then?
He's not
You're a
used to
special
working with
case.
tails.
Oh, fair. I'll give you that one.
And she smiles again and proceeds to go ahead and basically undo all this makeup. But that second package is setting off to the side. And after she's done undoing all the makeup and everything, she goes ahead and grabs a package and hands it over to, excuse me, hiccups. Goodness gracious, what is with my hiccups today? And they hurt so
Oh, that's
much.
the worst hiccups. Oh
You're
my
dying.
And it's like she hands this package over to Serafina, and it's
What?
wrapped in paper with a
What
bow on top.
What is this?
Maps and instructions, as well as tools if necessary.
Can Serafina open it?
Yes, you can. You can go ahead and open it.
Question. What happened to us
Yes.
going underground?
Oh, that's for the living quarter. You can gain access underground to both the living quarters as well as we just recently received some information and had one of our friends gather, how should I say, some interesting documentation on what's underneath the Gala location.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that's like, so this is us doing reconnaissance, and then I guess a couple nights from now, I'm not gonna lie, I've forgotten. A couple nights from now, we're doing like the actual thing.
So you have 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
You can split your party and do both tonight. You can go to the Gala to gather information,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go straight to the house. Now, the problem is we don't know what's in the house. We have the blueprints, but we don't know what kind of security will be there. We know that during the gala event, most of her security will be with her. But as for everything else, well, I can't guarantee anything.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And believe me, I do
If
want you to succeed.
if Gragnar and Snack really don't want to go to the gala,
It's
I
not.
could
I was
go.
just asking. I'll go with group majority, considering me underground by myself sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, I feel like you'd
Yeah.
get lost considering you got lost above ground.
I mean, I know my way underground better, but like, there's the sun.
Well, I
I
can go ahead.
think since we've already made all the preparations for the gala, we should all go together.
All right.
I just look, I'm used to working with my hands. I'm used to working on ships. I'm not used to the whole dressing up and wearing makeup thing. That's just never been me. If
And
you catch my drift.
If anything, I can do the talking.
Yeah, that would be
Miss
fine.
Miss Serafina,
Yes.
have you ever you carry yourself differently, very similar to a noble. Have you ever had a retainer before?
What is a retainer?
A retainer is basically someone who helps you. They are essentially your right hand servant.
Oh.
I don't like where this is going.
e- yes, I have had one of those.
Miss Hip Crusher.
Just snack.
Snack.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the idea of being hired muscle?
That's
That would be
what I
so
was
much better.
thinking.
Yeah.
All right. So let's put a story together. And she claps her hands together. Let's put a story together, and this is simple as this. Miss Serafina is a distant noble traveling through and really wanting to see the rustic part of life. That's why you decided to stay at the local inn
Uh,
rather than the higher estates. You're merely trying to see the other side of the grass, the other side of the fence. Snack,
Where are we saying I'm from?
you're staying at the local inn, which is Deb's Diner.
Okay.
Okay. And so what she's saying is the reason you're staying at Deb's Diner is to learn what it's like to be poor, basically.
Okay.
Um, and Snack, you are her retainer, someone she leans on to go ahead and handle physical labor and anything along those lines. Um, and as for your friend Gragnar,
She literally, if she looks over at him, Gragnar now has the plate and is licking the plate. It's like, what is this yellow stuff?
she
That's
goes,
butter.
I'm going to be real. They're going to think he's a.
I mean, that's not too far off.
Wow. Wow.
Well, you have your charms. This is definitely one of your charms.
Where?
Being covered in his face being covered in butter is not helping.
He is my gesture.
You know what? This can. I've worked with worse. And she turns around and starts fiddling through the makeup. Let's see, Miss Serafina, could you please sit here? And she pulls out a chair.
Sure, and she sits down on the chair.
And as you sit down, you've been wearing your hood most day. You've stated that you don't take your hood down unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And she stops and stands in front of you. May I remove your hood?
Yeah, sure.
And she waits for an extra few seconds and then goes ahead and pulls it back gently. She leans in and slowly starts turning your face side to side via your chin, tilting up. And you see her eyes are that violet color, that kind of pinkish violet. And there is an actual sparkle to them that not quite normal. Leaning this close in, the features of this drow are very and smooth, perfect skin. But you notice a scar on her left ear, as if there was an earring that was ripped out. And their hair is put up into a tight bun behind them. It's not like you see in the picture. It's very tight bun, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And she smiles. This will be fine. And proceeds to start working on the makeup. Now, this will obviously take some time. Makeup takes time. You all know this. It'll take about 30 minutes of application, but what she's doing is actually going to take about an hour. She's cleaning your skin. She's applying a lather to your face and things like that, and she pulls out waters and other minerals and things like that, and she starts cleaning your face up with. And it's almost an art form. The two of you are watching this, and I rolled for performance. Okay. I apologize. Anyone watching, I apologize. I don't want to take control of people's characters.
No, you're fine. I'm just digging through stuff again.
Gragnar, go ahead and roll me another investigation. I'll give you in just a second.
I suck at those. Let's go.
Why I'm letting you do so.
Wow! Oh my god!
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. We'll get to you. As anyone watching will see that there is this delicate touch that's going into all this. It is. I rolled performance beforehand, and they got a 17 on performance. So they are taking their time to clean up. They are doing everything they can to be delicate, and the makeup is being applied in a very natural way, as if to enhance the already existent beauty, rather than going ahead and caking it on. When she sits there, she starts talking to you all. So, I heard that you met Vaughn at the diner.
Oh yeah, he's very interesting.
And she smiles a bit. Yes, Miss Snap?
Oh, nothing. Just listening.
And I heard that you danced with Brian. And she looks up at Snack.
Oh yeah, that one guy, he wasn't very good at dancing. But you know what? He did his best, and that's all I asked for.
Yes. Well, he hasn't quite shut up talking about it. He was very excited to have a young lady willing to dance with him.
Oh,
You see,
Good.
Vaughn
Oh.
often finds himself surrounded by a lot of people who aren't used to being treated well. So thank you for that.
Well,
He's.
I'm always down for another dance. I love dancing.
I'll go ahead and let him know that. Though he is definitely.
Can somebody shut the mannequins up?
What kind of fucking mannequins?
He has like a no. Gragnar accidentally like touches like a little mechanical dog. Just
Wow.
You know what?
I mean,
What'd
it's
you
probably
roll?
true,
What'd you roll?
but wow.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a whopping 6.
Okay, you touch a mechanical dog, it freaks you out, and you fall back.
I'm not gonna light it on fire. I'll be good.
You basically go, holy shit! And it immediately stops. It's like a motion sensor type thing. When you move too close to it, it goes off. As you all are kind of talking, you begin to realize that Vieira has been with Vaughn for very long. Talking about, traveling even across the sea from the other continent that he said he was from. Vieira proceeds to finish the makeup up, and as she does, she stands in front of Serafina and grabs a mirror and holds it in front of you. And even though your hair isn't done yet, your makeup is done near perfect. It reminds you of the events you've been to when you were younger, being taken to different locales and things like that, kind of shown off by your.
It looks great. Immaculate.
Thank you. And I will say, pink is definitely more your color. And she proceeds to check your cheeks again. You have a really nice rosy.
I'm sorry, what?
You have a really nice rosy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, isn't that cute?
You're next, lizard boy. And she helps you get out of the seat, and I'll get your hair done in a moment, but first we need to shine up this diamond in the rough.
I'm not that bad. He's covered in fucking dry eggs because he's been eating raw
Dry eggs, butter, breadcrumbs, potato peels.
Probably some ash because he definitely burnt most of this outfit he's wearing.
Right?
He somehow has moss on his tail.
And she walks over and like points to the chair. Or waves her hand to the chair. Would you mind taking a seat?
I suppose. He climbs up in the chair because he's definitely not tall enough to just sit in it.
And she goes, and for this we need a little extra something. And she touches the tip of your nose, prestidigitation. And suddenly your whole body is clean. You see from where they touched your nose, the particles of dirt and egg and mud that has caked on the
It's
potato
literally-
peels and everything just peel away as if they're like a layer of paint being like frayed away over time.
I was literally going to be like, if Gragnar is not going to look nice, I'm going to use prestidigitation on him.
And it's as if a layer of dead skin and dirt and egg just slowly peel away and disintegrate.
Oh,
And
whoa, you
what
can
you-
actually see his gold accents now.
Yeah, the thing about it is this whole time Gragnar has been like an earthy gray and mixed with a dark orange hue. And that is purely because he is completely covered in dirt and mud and things like that. It's completely caked.
Greg,
So
how long has it been since you've actually bathed?
I don't know. I got lost in the desert.
So what you have now?
I don't know if it's a desert around my house. I forgot where it is.
It's literally grass and dirt.
Well, I got lost in the grasslands and ran out of food. I didn't exactly have ready access to a bath.
What you see now is that the only part of him that matches that darker earthy complexion is, in fact, his bottom jaw. He actually has a purple and gold hue to him, almost like a dark blue, almost violet. And you see that the horns on his head are actually a golden color rather than this kind of earthy brown that you've been seeing this whole time. There was a whole nother man underneath this man.
Huh.
And as she does prestidigitation, you see that she also does it to your rags, and they start peeling away as well. But as she does them to your rags, they're so torn and fraught that they were basically being held on by some of the gunk. They just kind of fall off your body.
Yes!
Like they just fall away. So you have Gragnar essentially sitting there butt-ass naked, by the way.
Oh, Lord.
Yes! No clothes, as I like it.
And she proceeds to go, now, that takes care of the stain. And she turns around and she comes forward with a sponge, a container of what looks like a like semi-clear solution. It's kind of a muddy solution. It almost looks like a muddy gray.
Mm.
And she pours it on top of the sponge and puts her hand lightly on her shoulder, and it suddenly tenses, and you're being held in place.
I mean, I wasn't gonna struggle. I am dirty.
And she starts scrubbing your face and everything about you. She starts scrubbing your arms.
Wait till he's all sudsed up.
Yeah, no, literally, there's suds just developing on his body. And she gets to his hands, and she starts cleaning his claws and everything, and grabs him by the foot to clean the bottom of his foot real quick and things like that. And she goes, prestidigitation is good for removing stains, but not necessarily smells or anything along those lines. It makes you look clean, it does clean you, but it does not give you good skin care.
Interesting. I feel like one of those fancy people now.
I couldn't hear you, Snack.
Huh? Oh, I said, in other words, you stink.
It's only been a couple of days. Not that bad.
You're covered in eggs.
And she even goes as far as to pull out a it looks like a fancy wooden stick, like a very well designed toothbrush, but it's a medieval toothbrush, which is essentially a frayed stick at the end with a handle. So basically, it's like a bunch of bristles made from fine like wood and things like that that are soft, and you use it to scrub your teeth. She puts a bit of it looks like she sprinkles sand and a bit of the cleaning solution on it, and begins to like brush the outer parts of his for him.
This tastes terrible. Oh my god!
It's literally sand and soap. Of course, it's terrible. and starts like just kind of reaching in, and she's almost like cleaning his teeth as he's trying to talk. It is a whole shebang for getting Ragnar to look presentable for a gala. What are y'all doing as this is going on?
I'm like nervously picking at the table.
I wanted to open the box that she gave me.
Okay. So Snack, you're nervously picking at the table, and you kind of are passively doing it, only to realize that you hear what sounds like a bit of wood breaking, and you look down and you tore it off a little bit of the side of the table.
Shit!
You're like,
I can fix that, actually.
It's like,
Look, if I can fix boats, I can fix this tiny little scratch at a table, okay?
Has none of the tools to do so on their person, but is damn well going to do it.
A little spit shine will...
and what's really funny is in the background, y'all just hear that toy, and everyone stops for a split second, turns around, you see Snack like eagerly, like almost like worriedly, like rubbing the table, just. No.
Oh, I thought you were casting magic. What the fuck?
Huh? What? I don't know magic.
Oh, you don't know magic? I mean, I do. One of my spells works like that.
What?
You have a spit spell?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did this as a flavor text thing. So he does the exact same thing, goes and spits out a bolt of fire into the floor.
Shit!
It's firebolt.
It just
Hold on, you actually cast firebolt in this room?
Yes, on the floor.
Jesus!
Vieira steps back very quickly and
Oh
goes,
my
"Oh my god!"
lord!
Because Vieira was brushing your teeth.
Oh, see, I forgot about that.
Give me a second. Let me roll so Vieira gets out of the way.
I forgot she was doing that. I thought she would have been done by now.
No! You're a piece of work!
What? I'm not that dirty.
What's your spell attack?
Plus
Oh,
4.
no.
Or the spell save DC?
Yeah.
12. It's not very
Okay, she
high.
beats that. Thank God. She sees you. You're like, oh, I can do a spell like that. And she goes, oh no, and steps back out of the way. As you just naturally spit, and you got like soap suds and sand, and you spit, and then it's like fire just goes onto the floor. And she goes, oh my goodness.
What the fuck?
And
I thought you were cast a spell, so I thought I'd demonstrate mine.
No!
I mean, I don't fucking know. That's how they taught me how to do it.
And
Yeah, just step out the fire.
it quickly goes out. I rolled. It was only 11. It quickly starts fading, but there is a burnt base in the center, as if the
Oh my
wood
God.
had like charred. And that is on the floor, like directly in front of Gragnar. And
You're
Vieira.
paying for that.
Not if he
looks
doesn't
and
see
goes,
it.
Oh. And goes, well, you could just regular spit in the trash. And she grabs a can to spit into the trash in order to go ahead and get rid of the stuff in your mouth.
Oh.
And you see her watching it as if she's
Oh my
expecting it to
God.
combust. And she's like, okay, good. All right, it didn't combust. All right.
I mean, I can make it combust if you want to.
No.
No,
I'm
not
quite good.
necessary. Thank you.
So what's in the box that she gave me?
So inside, you find
Another box.
you find several things. First off,
You find an
You find-
embarrassing Snapchat of SpongeBob.
First off, you find three different maps. Three different maps that have been made. The first two seem to be maps of the noble estate with a note attached. This is a detailed map of the area. Please use as reference in case of an emergency or we need to get in. It is speculated that the young man is being held on the second floor. The first one I'm showing right now is the first floor. If y'all see that, let me know when you are done looking at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Then then this is the second floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Fancy.
And then he also gives you what appears to be a map of an underground area. And on this one in particular, it states, we have a way in underground. We've been digging this out for a while. Please feel free to use it to your benefit. Just try not to get caught coming or going.
Okay.
And along with that, there is a key.
It's a key to the estate.
You turn it over and you look it over, and as you say that, Vieira goes, yes, actually, it's a key to the second story. The second story of the housing is their living quarters. We were able to go ahead and swipe a copy during past few days, but just be careful. No one knows that that key has been made.
All right.
Also, I would like to ask something.
Depends on what that is.
When you get the young man out, they won't be able to stay in town. You do understand that.
Why?
This young lady and her family are what powerful nobles of a powerful kingdom. This is a transit stay. If he gets out, she'll know someone will have gotten him, which
Oh,
means
she's
she's
gonna
going.
hunt for him.
Exactly. She's a
Question.
collector.
Question.
Yes.
Is burning the house still on the table? Vaughn said I could
No.
do it.
It was never on the table.
No. Vaughn said
She-
if I could make it look like it was an accident, then I could
You
do
did
it.
say that.
And you'll see Vieira go, no, burning the house is not on the table. And she points to the first two maps. Do you see those walls, those thick walls?
Mm-hmm.
They are 5 feet thick. They are made of stone and unburnable material. Most of these estates have some form of magical resistance as well as alarms throughout. One of the reasons we asked to give us time was to figure out the alarms. However, that would take weeks, and we don't have weeks.
Blech.
Thank you for the follow, brother.
So get him out, get him and his sister away from here.
If you can get them
So,
if you can get them to the outskirts of town through the tunnels. Specifically, she points to another map which shows more or less just a direct run under the earth. It is essentially a map that shows tunnels, and it tells you basically instructions to just keep going straight, and it would take you to the outside of town where they could get picked up and taken care of.
Mm.
Vaughn doesn't want to take the chance of people being hurt, so he's willing to go ahead and get them out of here as best.
I was gonna say, like, where would we take them? But if Vaughn's willing to help, then that's great.
Vaughn is more than willing. See, Vaughn, he plays himself as a jokester, but he has a lot to invest in helping those who are in danger. And at that, you see Vieira kind of rub their arms, which are completely covered clothing, but Vieira seems to rub their left wrist and stare off into the distance for a split second. We're here to help anyone who needs free. There's only so much we can do on our own, though, which is why Vaughn has taken making friends in low places.
He does
Nothing
And
a-
wrong with that.
Yeah.
well, you see, and she points to another item in the package at the very bottom. There's another golden card down there. Okay. And it looks just like the first one y'all were given, the one that had like the goblin skull on it.
Mm-hmm.
And she
I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom.
okay. She goes ahead and she picks up the card real quick. He says, Vaughn has helped several groups escape the Kingdom Unite. He's a wanted man. That's why he's having you handle this, because it's a little too close to the nobles who already know he exists.
So
I-
he's wanted?
He is wanted by particular groups, and I need to know that if anything goes wrong, you won't drag his name in. And she sounds worried. Very, very worried. She almost sounds like she's getting slightly choked up. I need to
Huh.
know that you will not bring his name in.
Of course not. So long as he doesn't bring mine in, then we're even.
And she nods. He did mention that you had a particular connect to a particular fact.
Sorry, you keep cutting out.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm going to tweak my settings. I had to tweak them for a show at one point when I was doing a stream, and all
Yeah,
of a
you're
sudden,
good.
how is that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Because it'll I could hear you, but it would cut out at like the last word or something. But yeah.
Essentially, she's almost staring you down, and not necessarily in a cold way, but in a very like direct, like, please don't fuck this up way. And one thing that she does is you see her kind of tapping her fingers to her thumb, almost like you would when you're counting, but it almost seems like a worried tick.
I do have some connection with a certain
Yeah, back.
noble clan, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Vaughn has had a run-in with them, so don't worry. He completely understands why you would want to distance yourself from them.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons that he was willing to trust you. She kind of takes a step away and leans on the wall for a second. I'll be real. I didn't agree with bringing you in on this. We were going to go in and get Heelbrand out. But Vaughn said that he needed to test you all. Said that he might have jobs for you in the future. And again, it's this almost worried look on her face.
You don't seem to trust us.
I met you for the first time today. On top of that, you're connected to the very type of people that Vaughn is on the run from.
She does
that
have
I'm
a point.
on the run from.
She does have a point.
I trust you because the company you keep is nothing like the company others. Pointing to Snack and Gragnar.
Well, just know that I am nothing like them. They took something from me, and I plan to... She's going to cut herself off and just...
And Vieira goes, I understand. And with that, there is something else in that documentation. And there is a letter in the bottom with a familiar name on there, Serafina.
What's the name?
It is your uncle's name.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Why do you have this?
It was something that we intercepted. And considering Vaughn had an idea of whom you were related to, he figured you might want to have this.
Okay,
And
she's gonna kind of shakily open the letter, and
you can see it's already been opened. You can see that it was actually labeled to go to someone else. It says it's supposed to go to an inquisitor from the Kingdom United, actually. The Inquisitors are the highest form of investigators for the Church of the Kingdom United. They don't very often take direct mail, let's put it that way. Their job is to essentially, both in and outside on foreign soil as well as inside the country, investigate threats to the church, threats to the five kings who rule as their religious leaders and god kings, and to deal with them as necessary. There are many rumors about what the Inquisitors are capable of. None of them are usually good.
Serafina is going to look very shaken.
As you open it, it says to Inquisitor K.
Inquisitor K?
Yes. I will handle the situation. There was no need for your involvement. please refrain from any activities that could drag my family's name through the mud. I do understand your worry about my niece, but she is of no threat.
Ow.
As for the other subject that you've come to me about, we are currently trying to figure out the best way for the conversion. I understand that the training you get from other academies, so-called acclaimed academies, is currently better, but within the next few years, we think we might have a breakthrough, allowing for you to have a more direct control on the mages and magi of your land. And as for the test subjects, I appreciate your donations. And I would appreciate that you keep the information you found to yourself, as we have an agreement. Do we not?
Do you
And that's
know? Go ahead.
And that's all it says.
Do you know what they might be referring to in this letter?
I know that the Kingdom United has been sending test subjects to that household, to the main academy. Test subjects being what the Kingdom United calls demi-humans. Anyone who isn't an elf, a human, or a dwarf. And in some cases even dwarves, seeing as they're on the edge right now with the issues and resources. On top of that, we're pretty sure that they're doing some form of experimentation. The Kingdom United isn't known for letting people of magical qualifications roam free within their kingdom. Anyone with any form of magical power is immediately picked up, either to join the royal military or to be put into indentured servitude if they don't fit the bill, if you get what I mean.
Sorry, so just so I get this clear. So the Kingdom United is sending test subjects to Ashengard, or Ashengard sending
The
subjects?
Kingdom United is sending test subjects to Ashengard.
Okay.
Somewhere at home, people are doing experiments on people.
Okay.
You don't know what those experiments are, but you know that there's experiments going on that you were not aware of. And
Well,
the fact
Good.
and the fact that like your mother in particular has always been against like, body modifications, things like that. And even encouraged you to not go into the ritual. That's one thing that I will say. When you said that you weren't sure about the ritual, the only one to back you was your mother.
Yeah.
So you do with that information as you see fit. But it is something where Vaughn wanted to show that he truly trusted you after just one meeting.
I appreciate the information. I don't know what to do with this at the moment, as I did not know this was happening, but
To have the Inquisitors looking into, I would assume, you is definitely something to consider.
yeah.
Now,
Am I to believe that we are traveling with somebody extremely dangerous? Because the Kingdom United is not something to fuck with.
the Kingdom
And she looks at
United,
Snack looks at Seraphina. Is there
I-
something we need to know?
I am no threat to you.
and
Fuck's
Yeah.
the Kingdom United?
I'm not Kingdom United.
Nah, saying I was like, what is that? I've never been there.
and Vieira kind of leans back again. Kingdom United is one of the strongest kingdoms in the land of Ethro. And they are...
He hasn't taken 2 steps out of his den before. Please excuse our friend.
Ethro is the common name for our world?
Oh, see, I thought it was a different continent. Excuse me. That's just me because I forgot the name.
No, I feel like it's still within Gragnar.
Oh yeah, it's within Gragnar. It's definitely
Oh, yeah.
within Gragnar. It's like, the fuck is that throw?
The fuck is that throw?
We'll be right back. It's my turn to go use the restroom.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, and we'll be right back.
All right. BRB,
We'll
I
be
guess.
right back, stream.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom too.
All right.
I'm gonna step away for a second to grab some snacks.
Lit, don't get lost.
And not just me, like actual snacks.
Well, I'm gonna listen to music while they're done. I need to get some more art for Gragnar. Like that's something that needs to happen. I need to get actual art for Gragnar and not the fucking Hero Forge thing with a filter thrown on top of it.
I don't have any.
Just too much harm.
I'm back.
Are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate you, bro. I do appreciate you. Because, like, Ragnar is the guy who gets all the questions asked about the world building because he's literally been living under a rock for the rest of his life. The fuck is Ethro?
The fuck is Ethro? What is that? I've never even heard of this
Hey, I'm
place.
back.
Followed by him eating literally everything in sight.
The two things Ragnar is good for: me expanding the culinary arts of this world, and lore dumping.
Yeah. Oh my god, that reminds me of my campaign because, like I said, my players don't ever ask any questions, and then one of them finally started like asking some questions, and I typed out a bunch of stuff, and it was just still part of the lore. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck? How much lore do you have?" I'm like, "This isn't even part, like all of it,
bro.
So much more."
That is the world building is a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have everything from the beginning of this world and how it came into existence.
Same.
Up till now. And here's the thing, the other campaign in this world is dealing with that directly almost.
Oh,
They're dealing
Lord.
with the very entities that made the world. Okay? And so it's kind of fun for you guys to start out fresh in this world, being like, yes, and then like asking one question. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta do a little bit of lore dump here. What the fuck is that? Okay, a little bit more lore dump.
Same.
I don't want to be the guy who spends 30 minutes, but y'all are asking questions, and I'm not like,
it's
that's the problem. You could easily spend hours talking about your world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yes, in the beginning there were dreamers.
In the beginning.
Shut the fuck up. In the beginning, there were the dreamers. And the dreamers had a dream. And that dream.
Oh, the funny thing is that's about to happen with me too, because like me and a couple of my other friends are about to do another campaign, which takes place in the same world that I use for my current campaign, but theirs is going to be like slightly in the future. And the funny thing that I decided to do, I told like my friends that are like that I'm playing with currently what I'm doing in the new one. I was like, oh yeah, they're going down the Doom timeline where you guys as villain you're fighting right now wins.
So you guys are actually, that's you guys right now. You guys are actually in a different timeline from my original campaign, because Vaughn is from my original campaign.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And so is Vieira. Vieira is Vaughn, I
Oh,
don't
I
mind
thought
telling you,
this was like a continuation.
it is a continuation, but it's different. It basically there is a version of the timeline where all this shit happens, and it all actually derives thousands of years after the original campaign that Beck ran.
Mhm.
So Beck's campaign happened, then thousands and thousands of years later, you have my first campaign that I'm running with people, and then depending on what happens, like it's able to shift because the way that I treat timey-wimey shit, the Fae exists, so your sense of
Oh.
time is up to literal
Yep.
like the whims of gods. Like
That'll do it.
Okay.
but essentially it is a continuation, but it is its own thing also, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Make it a
So like
sense.
anything they do can have an
So it's
effect
like
in your
it's like the thing Marvel's doing right now with the timelines, kind of.
kind
Yeah.
of, but simpler in the aspect of you guys are in the same universe, but you're your own timeline.
Okay. Are we all back?
Beck?
I think.
Beck is not back.
Okay.
I'm right here. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I was trying to
You're
get
asking
you.
if you.
Yeah, I said yeah.
Oh, we
We
didn't
didn't
hear
hear
you.
you.
Oh, well here,
Alright.
now y'all can see me.
Are we good? Am I good to switch back to
Yeah, you're
stream?
good to switch back.
All right, we're back. Hello.
All right. So before we left, Gregnar had asked, "The fuck is Ethro?" So we'll continue on from there. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Viera kind of cocks her head, but with everyone saying that you've literally lived underneath a rock your entire life, she kind of nods. Ethro is one of the common names for our world that we live in.
Interesting.
And we're currently on the continent known as the High Realm. And the Kingdom United is one of 3 major powers in the High Realm. The other 2 being a group of city-states.
The Kingdom United is not something we want to fuck with.
Yeah, I'm
Nope.
starting to get the gist of that because every time it comes up, it's usually something bad.
Yeah, well, building your entire economy on the back of slave trading and mutilation will do that.
You know what? Never mind.
And you can see like a visible look of disgust on Viera's face for the first time. You actually see like her lip curl up in like disgust, and she spits to the side of her. That decorum she had kind of going away for a split second.
But, Snack, to answer your question, I am not a threat to you. Or
If
anyone here.
anything, it's a really good thing that they don't like her, because that means that she's definitely on your side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is true. I just would rather ask and know the company I keep. Not that I would care. It's just more of a do I have to look over my shoulder every 2 seconds kind of thing.
No.
And
Oh, okay.
and Viera kind of laughs. You do realize that you're teaming up with a wanted man to save a kidnapped young man from someone who does slave trade for kicks and giggles.
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
I still wish we could burn her house down.
I worked on the docks, and the people there are like family to me. And a lot of them, maybe not savory people, maybe they had a life that wasn't the best, or maybe they weren't specifically liked or wanted in specific cities. But we still looked out for each other because that's what we do. When you work together, you stick together. And I just need to know the company I keep. I don't give a damn about your dirty laundry. I just care about whether or not you're going to watch my back and I watch yours.
My laundry, in fact, is very dirty.
We
Not
know.
anymore.
Oh, well, technically it's non-existent.
Well, yes, I do plan to help you.
Okay, then that's all I need to know.
And I did
You
tell
have my
Janet
trust.
yeah. And I did tell Janet that I would help her with finding her brother, so that's why I'm here.
That's also why I'm here. I didn't make that promise, you did, but I'll stick next to you.
I'm just here because they made me come.
I did lift you. That is correct. Yes.
Also, I have nowhere else better to go.
Well, personally, I do appreciate what you're doing, sticking your neck out for someone who's a complete stranger. In all actuality, there was a time in my life I would have never thought about doing any of this. But
Same.
Vaughn is a very persuasive gentleman.
Well, you didn't have to do much persuading, as I already told Janet that I would help, but
I know, but you could have easily tried to tackle it on your own rather than working with what is the nicest, shadiest man I've ever known.
that's one way to put it, yeah.
And Vieira will then clap her hands, stand up straight. All right. Next, my piece de resistance.
Snack?
Please take a seat.
I thought all this talking would make us forget.
Have you ever seen that smile in anime that comes from like a mom who's like, "You're not going anywhere"? And as you sit down in the chair, she leans over and goes, "Oh, I never forget a blank canvas."
Ooh, can I see the underground map? I have a terrible idea.
Sure. Just don't
Cool.
burn it.
I'm not gonna burn it.
And she hands him the map.
I guess I sit in front of what was her name again?
Vieira. And I will bring up the map for you.
Oh, hell yeah. How much space does the manor, like, above take up of the map?
Oh,
So
no.
the squares are all 5 feet apiece. You could measure that out if you like. I will state that that this map here, the underground map, is not directly underneath the manor.
Okay, never mind. That shoots my plans in the face.
Hey, Morphe.
Yeah.
Would you mind posting those maps in the maps in Discord so that we can all see them easier?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I could do that. That is a smart idea.
Yes, the map thing.
Post them in the map space that I made.
The idea was like, I was like, wait, maybe if things really just go bad, we can just blow up the area that's under the manor and it'll fall underground.
To be fair, that is still a viable idea.
Yep, that's how I'm still like working out the kinks, but you know, that's thinking about it. I will definitely mention that, but like,
Oh, what is the gold card for? You said I know it was similar to the other thing, but what is it?
So as you asked about the gold card, Vieira goes ahead and holds it in her hand, and she goes,
What?
What?
Sorry, I was like trying to type and click some random shit on my computer.
As she holds it in her hands, she goes,
So she holds it.
yeah, so she holds it.
I'm uploading those maps now. I've been distracted and thrown off. Give me a second.
Works every time.
Discord's acting up. Give me a second. Upload. Upload. So I will say that the way that the maps are explained is that the pantry space that you see, the forgotten storage actually underneath, that is actually if you look at the first story map, you'll notice in the where there's stairs going up, and in that corner there's that little black block that's kind of got lines through it.
Yeah.
That is essentially a secret entrance into the house.
Okay.
Now, the notes on this do state that that secret entrance leads right to the guard's bedroom.
Oh.
And
so it's it's like Oblivion.
Sure.
Sorry.
It leads directly.
There's like a quest that you can do in Oblivion where you literally go into the guard's room and you have to steal their shit, or maybe that was just me. That wasn't a quest. I was just stealing their shit.
As you should.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
guard stuff
essentially,
sells for like good coin. That's all I'm saying.
so essentially, there's that black box that leads into the guard space. That is directly over that old storage. It's a old storage that's been forgotten.
Okay.
And those caves and everything are to the side of that. Essentially allowing for you to those caves are directly under the house. Forgive me, they are directly under the house.
Oh yes.
Okay.
My plan.
The best way to say is if you flip the house to where where that black box is sitting directly on top of it, that's what you're looking at, because the sewage is then like underneath the road in front of the house.
I will definitely voice that as my as like a backup plan. So
That is a last resort.
I mean, like, it could be a first resort, like, you know.
Well, we also need to get what the fuck is his name? Hilbrand out first.
Yeah, Hilbrand out.
I mean, obviously that's #1 priority, but like,
Are you suggesting we demolish the house while
yes.
he's still inside?
No, not while he's still, no. Not while he's still inside. Obviously, that is priority #1. But if you know there's like some mysterious underground gases that just so happen to explode and the house goes, oh dang, that's crazy.
Well, Vaughn did say make it look like an accident, so.
I mean, cave gases sound like an accident to me.
True.
Vieira picks up the card and holds it in the air, and she essentially holds it, turns it sideways, and rips it in half.
Oh.
And as she does, the cards then kind of go up in a flash of blue fire and smoke. The card itself, real quick, kind of like it ignites real quick.
Yeah.
And instead, there's a small, probably about 2 to 3 inch wide crystal ball that about it looks like a crystal ball of sorts.
Okay.
And she says, "This is your get out of jail free card."
Do we throw it at
That
him?
you just ripped it in half.
What does it do?
And she goes ahead and holds it, and she says, "You throw it at the ground, and you get yourself a nice flash of light, a high-pitched shriel that completely can incapacitate anyone within a 20-foot area, and it also makes a wonderful, wonderful piece of jewelry if you decide you really want something just ugly enough."
Just ugly.
She holds it, and again, it's 2 to 3 inches wide, so it's pretty big. Like it basically, she's saying, like, if you wanted to wear this as jewelry, you could, but it's very blatantly a loud piece of jewelry.
Loud.
I don't know how else to explain that. Like you would essentially have a giant crystal ball hanging around your neck.
It's very Lorg.
Lorge.
And she goes ahead and holds it to her lip, gives it a kiss, and it turns back into a card.
So it's just basically a flashbang.
Yes, but it's a flashbang that fits in your pocket.
Okay.
And she hands you the card. The other one is the same thing. They're made by taking pearls and putting spells inside of them.
Oh, so the Underdark card is also that?
Yes, the Underdark card is also one of those. And she goes, these will also act as identification when you go underground.
Okay.
Also,
Snap, do you want to hold on to one of these?
Sure.
I should also clarify, the people that you'll be running into underground, some of them will recognize you, and you won't recognize them. And she kind of sits there, like, wondering how much she should say.
Why would they recognize me?
They won't recognize just you. They'll recognize your group. The young man that Snack danced with. He's not human.
Really?
He's a
What?
goblin.
Oh. Well, that's
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
We use different forms of magic to hide the appearances of some of our comrades.
Some pretty
Oh, I
damn
see.
good magic.
Polymorph and a few other spells go a long way. And
All right.
it's always good to know some goblins with some booyog.
Did you say booyog?
Yes, it's the goblin term for magic.
Oh.
I thought it was a
I-
bomb.
I don't know many goblins, but yeah, sure.
All in all, he's quite a respectable young man. So please keep your prospects open. And she winks at Snack.
I don't think he's gonna want someone like me.
Darling. And for a split second, Vieira kind of her persona shifts for a split second.
Look, I'm
Men-
not saying that I have self-esteem issues. There's just
And
I am a catch, okay? Like I'm hot. Like
and as you're sitting there in the chair, like
Sure,
almost
for nothing.
stammering, as you're sitting in the chair almost stammering, she walks up and she gently lifts your chin and kind of tilts your head side to side. Yes, you are a catch, honey. Yes, you are.
Look, Hip Crusher was a given name. That is not my actual last name. I am, I'm great. I'm fantastic. It's just I'm just emotionally, mentally. You know what? This is a lot. Can you just do my fucking makeup already?
Change the subject. Abort. Yes, she smiles a bit. Yes, we can go ahead and do that. And as she goes ahead and looks over your
Hip
face,
crusher, damn.
she then goes ahead and
What's up, knives?
touches your nose as well. Prestidigitation. And there's a layer of dirt on you that you've kind of built up because you've been working a lot and you've been on the travel.
My skin is whiter.
Actually, your skin is a little bit whiter, but it is actually an ashy white, as opposed to more of a grungy dirt white that's
Just
been on
doing
you for a
game
while.
things. Yeah. And we're playing some D&D.
As you see it,
doing the
it peels
hanging
away
out
again,
stuff.
almost like a layer of paint or skin peels away, and it slowly disintegrates from you. Starting from where she touched your nose, it just works its way back.
I miss D&D.
And even your
my
hair,
God. Me and
which was
Cassie
just
and
a
Snarf
little
will be
bit
playing a
matted, not too
campaign
much.
soon,
It's
too.
just, obviously from a few days travel. Because I assume that you did keep up with your cleanliness
I
a
do
bit
too.
over
I miss
travel
playing
time.
D&D.
We'll say it's been about 2 or 3
I just
days.
work next to the ocean a lot, so
Yeah. Well, again, the ocean, you traveled about a month's trip out from where you normally do.
yeah.
Delivering information and documentation. But essentially, this is the point where it becomes fairly obvious that you have red hair rather than a brown caked hair. It's very obvious that you have this long red hair that
Yep.
is again being brushed out. Vieira starts brushing out your hair first and pulling it back as it was kind of messy, kind of just in your face and everywhere. And she pulls it back into a ponytail, keep it out of the way.
Huh.
And she
Kind of like that.
Yeah, she then separates just 2 strands of hair to go down the sides of your face, just to give you a very simple, almost like militaristic look, something that looks official, but not overly done.
Right.
Obviously you're a retainer / bodyguard for this event, so you need to look the part. She also goes ahead and begins to turn your face side to side. I do love your freckles.
Thanks.
And goes, and may I ask, are you half orc or full?
That's a good question. I'm adopted.
So are
A
most of
schedule
us.
or lack of
And
makes it
she goes
hard to
ahead
play with
and
plans
takes
like
a look at.
plans, but has
She
friends
pulls
who
your-
tickets. Press use my man. Sometimes I forget.
He goes
to say,
ahead
oh, yeah,
and
totally, I
pulls
can make
down
that.
your
Only remember
lip a little
1 to
bit.
2
Take a look
weeks
at
ahead.
your tusks.
I can't actually make everyone
They're
listen.
not
Like
very big.
plan this 3 to 4.
No,
I'm the
but
same.
she almost
I'm
she
the
looks
same.
she looks happy with them. She's like
I
they're very
literally
clean,
don't
they're
do
very
anything
well-kept.
all the time.
Good.
But I have
I
that
don't know
bad habit
how
of
I
forgetting
feel
about
about you
plans
being in
sometimes.
my mouth.
And she has a look on her face like that's too easy.
That did not sound like what you said, but I feel like that's the joke.
That sound said it spoke volumes. Oh my god.
Vieira says that's no longer my line of work, honey. And she goes ahead and starts applying just very basic makeup. She gives you a black
God, that was so fucking
gloss on your
funny.
lips and slowly paints that on. Then she goes ahead and she looks at your blue eyes and she's like, it's actually very rare for an orc to have blue eyes. That's more so a giant's type genetics.
Huh.
And she
Seen
just
some humans with it.
That's very true. And she goes ahead and starts like just doing basic work on your face. She doesn't even really apply a lot of makeup. And you hear her kind of mumbling under her breath that like she just really likes your freckles and likes how defined they are against your paler skin. The darker freckles stick out really nicely and they're a good profile. Then she goes ahead and she turns your head sideways and seems to be looking at your ears, turns your head sideways, looks at the ears over there, and suddenly you feel something going in your ear real quick.
Ah!
Stay still.
Jeez.
When was the last time you cleaned your ears?
I don't know. Last time I dunked my head under some salt water.
Tisk, dirty ears.
Look who's talking, Moss Tail.
Hey, I do not have moss on my tail. It was probably egg or like some dirt or something. I don't fucking know. I can't exactly see my tail. I can see like part of it.
I don't think that makes it any better, Gragnar.
Especially considering it's on the underside of your tail. I'm worried that that's not just moss.
Oh, God.
It's fine.
And she goes ahead and she cleans out one ear and then cleans out the other. And proceeds to actually like take a warm cloth around your face and just gently like massage the backs of your ears and everything, cleaning them off. And from there, you're like, sure, you're done. You're the shortest one that takes to do all this stuff. And all together, she then goes ahead and has you all stand next to each other. Please stand next to each other, please.
Sure.
Okay.
And she goes, all right. I think I made you look good. And she turns around and starts packing everything up. And she points to Seraphina. I would recommend wearing your hair down.
I was planning to.
Now, I do need to ask you some questions now that we're done with this.
Okay.
In the case that a guard or security gets a hold of you, what are your skills and capabilities?
I can light them on fire.
I am a sorcerer, yes.
A magus. Interesting. And you can set things on fire, so you're a magus as well?
Yeah.
Are you a wizard, a sorcerer, a warlock?
I have magic powers.
Okay.
That's the best you're gonna get.
And Miss Snack, what are your capabilities?
I can stab things really, really well.
Okay. All right. And she sits there, her eyes flutter for a bit, like, okay. Well, we're giving you all the tools you need to make this happen. The gala is tonight, and and she pulls out a pocket watch real quickly. We have 2 hours.
That is not a lot of time.
No, it isn't.
Hopefully he's
But-
done with my clothes by now.
Well, you've especially spent like 2 or 3 hours in here,
Yeah.
talking, getting to know each other, things like that. And what essentially ends up happening is, as you actually say that, there's a knock at the door.
Occupied.
It's D. I was able to go ahead and alter a pre-existent uniform or dress if you would like.
For who?
Well, I have one for each of you.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
That was the plan. I do remember now.
And D opens the door and sees you all standing there lined up and goes, "You're not gray." And looking at Gragnar.
I feel like it makes it worse because he also does not have any clothes on.
Butt naked.
No, I'm not gray. I spent some time lost in the grasslands, and I had egg on me.
And D looks at you and looks down and looks at you. Don't worry, it's what you do with it that matters. And proceeds to put everything on the table in front of you.
What?
I feel like I should be insulted, but I also have no idea what he's talking about.
That's good.
And with that, he starts laying out the outfits. And again, you do have
He
the
naked.
Django Ragnar special.
I love it.
And I had dresses picked for both of y'all, but those got corrupted. I had a flash drive that went. But essentially, he lays out a beautifully made white and blue gown for you, Seraphina. It is very much like a ballroom dress for these type of events. So
This looks immaculate.
I believe I could find it.
Yeah, nah,
Yes,
this suit
actually.
is definitely gonna have an accident.
It was
I
actually
look like Elsa.
it's actually similar to this one, not the same. It's similar to. Trying to think, 'cause it was a blue
Like
and
that
white.
first one, the ball gown color. Yeah, that one.
That one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's real pretty.
Okay, so we'll work with this one then, because
Okay.
it's simple and you can essentially still use magic, but it still has a shawl on the top that you can use as a hood if you would like.
Okay.
Seeing as when he saw you, you had your hood up the entire first time y'all talked, and second time. And then as for
Snack.
snack,
Did you put
There was-
black breasts?
it should be dress.
Big.
So
funny.
he was working on something very simple for you. Again, I was trying to find one.
You could put like, what is it? Is it a ballroom
knives.
dress?
Exactly.
It was something simple, and I saw it. I actually saw a orc character wearing one like it. I don't see it here.
Be careful with what you'll find.
Dun, dun, dun.
Some people really like orcs.
It was actually something similar to this.
Oh
but it
lord!
There was actually something
You guys
similar to that,
Snack
but
wearing like the skimpiest outfit.
no. Okay, so it had it cut down the side because I figured Snack would like to be able to run
Multitasking
around
is
if
hard when I'm
necessary.
laughing every so often. Oh yeah, no, most definitely.
So imagine
it is a
less-
mess in
less
here, but it's a
frills,
fun mess.
Less like cut up dress. more-
Frickles! I was like, that's ripped.
No, it's fine. It's
Be fucking.
Fine. Let's go with something like this. Let's go with something like
Oh,
this.
yeah,
that,
that works. That's fine.
that
Alright.
more so blends. So you have black and blue, and you have
For
white
real,
and
people
blue as kind of a
sexualize
counter.
orcs, and it's
Okay,
funny.
Ragnar,
I was like,
you
fuck,
are-
man, I get it. Love orc, bro. Say
Ragnar, you're
orc,
you're
orcs are so,
rocking that up.
bruh, orcs, please.
With the Django.
Like, damn.
Yeah, that Django. The D is silent. But yeah, you're rocking that Django outfit. And so he lays them out for you. And he goes, I hope that these are to your liking.
I hate everything about it.
Well, you're gonna wear it.
We bought it. You're gonna wear it, son.
I need your slacks.
Yeah, and he even goes as far as to like pull out like all the shoes and everything as well. All the clothes have been laid out for you guys. Like there's nothing you have to worry about. He does state, however, he does go, now these dresses are not the most expensive thing. You chose one of the more expensive suits for Gragnar.
Yes, because he would probably burn it in 2 seconds.
Understandable. These here have been altered from pre-existing outfits, but they are in fact one of a kind each.
Oh, they look beautiful.
I'm sorry?
Oh, they look beautiful.
Thank you. They took a lot of work. The sequins had to be worked in individually, and he kind of starts rambling without meaning to. And VR goes, he goes, my bad. And he just kind of goes, and if there's anything else you need, please let me know. And he stands there awkwardly, like actually waiting to see if there's anything else you need.
I don't think so.
All right.
Can I pull you aside for a second, D?
Yes, and he kind of steps back outside the room.
And they're gonna like whisper something in his ear, and I'm gonna message you on Telegram and tell you what he says. Hey, or what Snack says to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second.
Secrets. Ooh.
Spooky, scary secrets.
Spooky, scary secrets.
Christian says you're a man of culture, Aaron.
Look, I like my big orc wives, all right? Better if she got that food going on.
We broke Ragnar.
Hey man, you've seen? Have I not mentioned on my TikToks? I have. I've quietly been mentioning those things on my TikToks to test the ground to see what I can push.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And
My
they get
TikTok's
by.
a mess. I forget sometimes.
They get by. Like I'm genuinely surprised. This is like obviously side as I'm waiting for what's being told to me. But like off to the side, like
There we go.
TikTok is really weird about what they pick up and what they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my page. That's an easy way to see what you can get away with.
And then Snack's gonna lean away and just kind of like awkwardly like,
And you see you see him standing there for a second. He's like got his hand on his chin. He's like, He walks over, he picks up the dress.
Okay.
I can do this. And he walks out. He just shuts the door behind him.
Okay.
What was that?
And you hear from the other room.
That's all.
You hear from the other room. This shall be my piece de resistance.
I thought she was gonna tell
Oh
me
my
about the
god.
bread.
You said, wait, hang on. Something amazing just happened, and it was completely out of the blue. So I have music playing in the background, like tavern music. The moment that he said that, it went into like dramatic. And it only lasted for that one moment. What the fuck?
That's funny.
I expect that to be snipped.
That better be.
And you actually hear you like rummaging outside the room, like.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna tell him about the bread.
Oh no, I didn't tell him about the bread and the butter and the plate and the fire.
I put it back.
And literally 5 minutes later, he bursts open the door, and he comes in, and Androgynous shall be my playground, and you shall be my canvas. And he holds the dress up to you. Hold this up for me.
Okay, and like they do that.
Okay, so the dress hasn't changed, but what he has done is he has gone and actually found some leggings that he has gone ahead and altered. And what they are is they are essentially underneath the dress, you would have these almost like pants. like these workman pants, these really crisp, nice black pants.
Ooh.
And he swapped out these shoes for these dark black boots with silver bottoms. Like the part that you walk on, the actual part that walks the ground. And these boots look like they're military boots that have been redesigned.
Fancy.
Durable, strong, beautiful.
She got the silver bottom jeans.
With the fur, looking at her. They hit the floor, next thing you know, buddy's going, orc, women. Hey. Yeah.
Please no.
And he goes ahead and he's like, and also these, and he pulls out these 2 gauntlets and he throws them on the table. And they are simple leather gauntlets that are straps that are to be held on, but they kind of tie this look of beauty professional, like if you were someone who were doing fashion, it would be that fashion that's supposed to emulate you ever seen fashion that's trying to emulate everyday clothing, but it's very obviously overdone fashion?
Mm-hmm.
It's that. It's the equivalent of. Yes, I look like I should be doing this job or that, but it's a fashion statement. It's not actually my job. And so you have essentially that blue dress. Where's that blue dress? Oh no!
The blue
Keep
dress
going,
receptacle.
Keep going. Where did it
You're
go?
You're good.
You gotta scroll down a little bit.
It was below that one.
Yeah, right there.
There it is. So imagine this, but with like black,
Leggings.
almost leggings underneath, and then boots, and then black gauntlets on her arms.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay, so a very strong look while also being somewhat feminine.
Okay.
It highlights the femininity that's there while allowing it to be presented as strong and like direct.
Okay.
You have me going back to when I used to design fashion. I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's do this, baby. Work it.
I'm gonna go put this on, and I'm gonna go find like a room to go change in, I guess.
And he points off to one of the dressing rooms that's actually off to the side. And anyone else have any alterations that you would like, except for Gragnar's, because I'm not tampering with that. You paid for that as it is, and you're stuck with it. And he looks at you, and he locks eyes with you, and he's like, "You paid for it."
Gragnar just squints his eyes really hard.
I will take this suit, and I'm going to hate every bit of it.
Hey, Aaron, you might want to scroll up. There's a comic there that looks a little odd.
Oh.
What? Oh.
I know, actually know that.
There you go.
I know that artist.
Yeah, I think my dress is fine.
All right.
How
And
much
he
did
goes.
how much did this cost? Because I definitely didn't take it out of my money.
No,
it
it
was
was
from
paid
the
for
money that
by
Vaughn gave us.
Yeah.
Vaughn
hell
gave
yeah.
y'all money, and then on top of that, you did a favor, which got it cut down even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time this is all said and done, y'all get to keep like 50 gold.
Hell yeah.
Because you each got like what was it? He said he was going to pay you more by the time it was all done if it goes well.
Mhm.
Because essentially he's paying you to help him do a job.
Yeah.
So it's very business professional for Vaughn. And what ends up happening is as you're trying these all out, I will say, Snack,
Hmm?
I need you to roll a wisdom save.
Oh, a wisdom save?
Dun,
Yep.
dun, dun.
Oh, what the fuck did I do in the
Serafina?
dressing room?
Seraphina,
What?
do you, what is your passive perception?
It is 11.
Okay, Gragnar, what is your passive perception?
Fucking 9.
Okay,
I got a 13.
14.
Yeah, because I get a -1 to my save.
I do too.
Let's.
Do we have all of our clothes on now, or like what?
Yeah, y'all are getting dressed essentially. You're all getting dressed.
Okay.
Let's. Vieira actually goes to get snack. You feel very lightheaded for a split second.
Oh.
You feel as if there's something at the back of your head, and it's kind of a tingling sensation. I need you to roll one more time, a wisdom save.
Ooh, that's better. 16.
Correct. You shake it off. You almost shake your head for a split second as you hear a knock at the door.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I think so. And I open the door.
Okay. And Vieira looks you up and down. All right, you're looking good, looking good. And she goes ahead and actually pulls out a small item, and she holds your hand out and puts it in your hand. This is going to be the item you show if they ask you for proof that you are her protector, her guardian. Okay? And when she moves her hand, it's a crest. And what it is it's essentially a crest for a family. Like a noble's family. It's a ring, really. It's a signet ring. And she's like, keep that on your person. Do not wear it. You wouldn't be wearing it, she would. But at situations like these, at galas and balls, it's very common for local security or protectors to have these items on them in case of an emergency.
Oh. Okay. And I'll take it.
Okay. Now, you will need to ask her what name she would like to go by so that you can go ahead and be good to go. But I figured that you would want to have that as a way get out of jail free card if something goes on.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Also, Vaughn and I will be there, and at this point she's walking you back to the room. Excuse me. And she goes ahead and has you all there. Thank you. And she looks at you all and says, "Now, Vaughn and I will also be at the gala." Excuse me. Jeez.
Bless you.
And she says, "But we won't know each other." Is that clear?
That was
Sure.
mentioned. Yes, I do remember.
I don't even know who you are.
Look at you.
You're a
He's
natural.
the best at that.
If anything goes wrong, just leave. We're not here to cause an interruption. We're here to gather information. Talk to the nobles. Get to know them. Play on their grounds. Blend in as best as you can. And she kind of looks at Ragnar.
I'm just
No setting things on fire.
I'm just not gonna say anything. That'll probably be for the best.
We could always put a muzzle on him.
I'm gonna put
No.
a muzzle on you.
Try.
And Vieira kind of smiles a bit. Anyway, I will be heading out first. You all have a wonderful day. And hopefully, by the end of all this, Hilbrandt and his sister will be someplace safe.
That's the plan.
All right.
I appreciate the help.
And Vieira stops and goes, "You're the one helping us." And she turns around and walks out. She's packed up all her things. She's heading out the door first. How long do y'all want to wait before y'all head out? You essentially have about an hour and a half left.
I guess just do whatever else we need to do and then head over there.
Is he still in here?
D?
Yeah.
He was hanging around outside, just kind of chilling outside the door.
So he's not in the office.
The office door is open.
I'm
I'm still gonna take
walk
I'm gonna
over.
take one more look. I'm gonna take one more look, see if I find anything interesting.
Roll one more investigation.
And I'm
What
gonna
were you saying,
fail.
Zach?
Let's go.
So I'm gonna walk over to Serafina and be like, "Hey, so I don't know if it was just me or what, but did you, while you were changing in the changing room, get lightheaded or feel really, weird?"
No.
Oh, maybe it was just me then.
What did you feel exactly?
It has like something on the back of my head, kind of like a tingling sensation. I got a little dizzy, but then it just went away.
Can I make a roll to see if I could figure out what was going on?
Yes, you can roll an insight.
Insight. What is my
Ragnar,
insight?
what'd you
Right.
roll?
I rolled a whopping 10.
I got a 6.
Oh!
My dice hate me.
So,
Well,
starting
can they
with,
get advantage since I gave them details?
you could say you're helping them. So go ahead and roll with it one more, and you'll take the higher of the two.
17.
Hey, there we go.
All right. So starting with Gragnar, you are kind of rummaging around. You're trying to find more things. But as you do so, D goes and kind of coughs, and he's standing right behind you. As you're like face first in a cabinet.
I dropped one of my eggs in here. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And with that, you kind of go, I dropped one of my eggs, and you turn around and kind of walk away. And D's got an eyebrow raised at you. As for Serafina, as for you, at first you're kind of thinking for a second. You're like, that doesn't really sound like anything. But then you remember charm magic for a split second. The idea of charm magic, how those who have been affected by it, including yourself, because you studied magic and therefore had it used on you and things like that, and noticed it, specifically because your family wanted you to be resistant and to know the effects. That tingling sensation in the back of the head they mentioned, where it feels like it's just something in the back of their head tingling, sticks out to you. You're not sure what kind of magic it might have been or anything like that, but normally charm magic has that kind of tingling sensation, and that pops out to you. You're not really sure if it was charm magic, but like the description fits.
Okay. Snack.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that sensation again, tell me as soon as you feel it.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it helps, it happened maybe like literally a minute ago.
Is it something with the clothes?
Huh? What? When did you get here?
Yeah, I was assuming we were in the same room.
You are.
Daniel.
I thought you were rummaging.
Yeah, I got caught, so I wandered over here.
D's still in the room like,
D.
Yes.
Did you put any sort of spell on these clothes?
No, there's no spells on them. Oh, Gragnar's actually has a custom rune on the inside of it, and it's done with basically invisible ink so that it doesn't stick out, but it helps with fire resistance.
Okay.
Judge of that.
All right. Well, all right, that answers my question then. Yeah. Snack. Let me know if you have that feeling again, please.
Okay.
Honestly, though, if a kobold
I'll
didn't try and be a klepto, I'd be scared
be
just
on
like
top
you.
of that if it happens at the ball or whatever. Speaking of which, I was given this
Bro,
ring.
I have an interesting idea. I can talk
with
about it later, though.
a signia? A
Signet?
signia on it. Yeah, that.
Is it magic?
No, it's just
Are you
a ring.
sure?
Why don't you lick it and find out?
I mean, I can I'll
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that. You will eat it.
No, I won't. Just because it's shiny doesn't mean I'm gonna eat it, and I'd probably put it in my pocket, though.
Do I recognize the signet ring?
Taking a look at it, it's very well made. It's very, very nice. Roll in a.
I guess that'd be insight.
Yeah, it'd be an insight.
Would
Roll
it
an insight
be-
check.
Okay.
It would be insight or history. You choose.
13.
13 for insight. Taking a look at it, it looks like it's a real ring, but
A
like
real
you
fake
don't
one.
recognize that signia at all. It looks very real, but you get the sense that this may not belong to an actual family. It may not be real.
Is
I
it
was
magical,
told
though?
to show this to you, and then you make up, or we make up the name. We need a name. We need a name for the house you come from, and then this is gonna be our signia signal.
House Brazu. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, these are family rings normally worn by, well, not worn, but
Mhm.
So yeah, what should we have a name? What should be the name?
I love
What
giving
is the
people random
symbol on the
chances to
ring?
come up with shit. It is actually a rose. It is a rose
Oh,
with a single sword down the center.
We could go by Rose and
House Plant Stabber.
we could go by Roosevelt family.
Zach just looks at Serafina and is like, "You've never done this before, have you?"
No, I've only ever gone by my own family name, but
Man, I'm still thinking House Plant Stabber sounds pretty good.
I don't think that's a good. You know what? Leave me to my thoughts for a second. I'm gonna think of some ship names that sounded really cool, because they tend to sound really cool.
I will say Rosenbell sounded pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for a first time throw out there, like Rosenbell house with a giant rose. That's the family that wants to be on the nose. I can accept it.
Let me see.
Warframe. I haven't played that in fucking forever. Holy shit. I want to play,
but I don't feel like waiting for it to update for like 5 hours.
I'm looking in the recesses of my googly mind. Not actually. Definitely not using Google to look on fantasy name generators.
Hey, at least Lestria had the ability to fucking come up with a random name.
I mean, I got one off the top of my head. Rose Sheath. House Rose Sheath or something.
Your first throw out was like Rose Stabber, so I don't
No, it was Plant Stabber. Thank you very much. House Plant Stabber. Mm-hmm. There's also Rose Sheath. There's that.
Again, how on the nose can you be about like a rose with a sword through the center?
You know what? Fuck it. Rosenbell works.
Rosenbell?
Or whatever it is.
I see how it
is. It's a Rosenbell. Sure.
Rosenbell.
Alright, so I'll have that down as Rosenbell.
Sure.
Yep, sure, yeah.
House Rosenbell.
House Plant Stabber. Gotcha.
I'm from House Plant Stabber.
Yeah, we stab plants. Especially
And
the
plant
real
accessories.
Yeah, my plant and plant accessories.
Oh my god.
You know that fertilizer and fertilizer accessories are quite helpful
All of
in
our
keeping up your
guards
upkeep.
don't get daggers. We give them pocket sand and they throw it at the enemy.
No, not the pocket sand.
Soil.
Oh my goodness.
It's doubly effective
no.
because it's both pocket sand and
Man, I
soil
used to have
with
fun
slight
with
maneuver.
Warframe, though. I haven't heard good things about it recently, though.
Anyway,
All right, so yes, that'll be our name.
okay.
Rosenbell, got it.
So you will be known as House Rosenbell from this point forward. And going with that, D is in the room. He kind of goes, I will assume that everything being discussed right now is something I don't know. And
what? No, you didn't hear anything.
Hear what? And he kind of lifts the bag of gold. He lifts that silk bag out of his pocket. He's like, I was paid plenty for my silence. And he picks it up and grabs it and walks out.
there.
And he will actually go ahead and step out. He's like, now, if you don't mind, I do need this room back.
Oh
Especially-
yeah,
We're already out,
cool,
okay.
Yeah.
I think you guys just try to shuffle out. Oh, right, yeah. And he kind of like looks at Gragnar and he says, especially considering someone's been rummaging through everything, and he turns around and you look in.
I don't know.
You look in, you see that all the cabinets are all like upturned. Gragnar has like
They're all
papers
open.
on the floor during this whole time. All the cabinet doors are open, and like paper and ink is on the floor. And
I
he
think
walks
there's a-
over.
Paper slapped to the wall with butter.
I think there's a
He
draft
walks
in
over
there.
to where the chair was sitting, and he looks down, and he's like, he's rubbing his shoe on the floor. He's like, is that a scorch mark?
Hey,
I
thanks,
don't know.
bye.
I have no idea what happened there. I think there's a draft in there.
y'all just leave. I'm sorry, bye. Just leave all of a sudden. All right, and we will call it for the night.
No.
You are officially prepared for the gala tomorrow.